we know Cam Newton's going to eventually get in there, right? As he should, right?
Yeah.
I mean, put him in there now.
And that ceremony is probably going to happen with him by himself. Like, let that be the Cam show.
Exactly, which I'm 100% okay with that.
Absolutely.
Now, we talked to you and I a couple weeks ago that what would the Carolina Panthers look like had Andrew Luck come out in the NFL draft the year he was eligible, which was the year that the Panthers drafted Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck would have been the number 1 overall pick. How different would the NFL look? How different would the Carolina Panthers look? Again, based on the decision of one person.
Yeah.
Now, they're both out of the league. Andrew Luck retired a couple years ago, just dealing with so many injuries. Like, was tired of dealing with rehab. I totally get it. It's your body. I totally get it. Cam Newton hasn't been in the NFL for a couple seasons, or really for a season plus, because no one signed him.
Yeah.
Now there's debate going on, Hall of Fame worthy. Cam Newton, is he a Hall of Famer in your mind? I'm borderline on it. I kind of lean towards no, because again, when we talked about with Julius Peppers a little bit ago in terms of longevity, the longevity isn't quite there for Cam. But when he was when he was playing, man, was he special.
All right, let's just set it up like this. Let's talk about what these two have accomplished in their careers.
A lot.
Andrew Luck will be eligible for the Hall of Fame next year.
I don't put him in.
So here's,
as talented as Grace was, I don't put him in.
Here's what it looks like for Andrew Luck, right?
Mm-hmm.
In his first 6 seasons in the NFL, he had 171 passing touchdowns. That's third all-time, trailing only Dan Marino and Patrick Mahomes in their first 6 years of playing in the NFL, right? Those are amazing stats.
Yeah.
23,671 passing yards. That's fourth all-time, trailing only Peyton Manning and Marino and Mahomes. He has 275.2 passing yards per game, third all-time, trailing only Matthew Stafford and Mahomes. Now, that was, of course, in his first 6 years. All right?
Yeah.
The part for me that you pointed out is the longevity. And what did he do of note as far as winning? Like, the stats are cool, but do you remember a signature game from Andrew Luck where you said, he's arrived. He's that guy.
Yeah.
You know, he got his team to the Super Bowl. He got his team to the AFC championship game. I don't have a game like that in mind. So if he probably would have played 2 or 3 more years, if he would have retired now and on the same trajectory he was on, I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Maybe.
But right now, with just that, no, I do not.
I generally try to not lump in team success to an individual player. I generally try and stray away from that because we're looking at what this individual did. Because there is the reliance on the rest of your team, you know, in terms of, for example, are you going to – It's funny how we only assign wins and losses to quarterbacks, which is weird because a lot of people will debate Eli Manning, but if you want to throw wins and losses, he's a 500 player.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and he made the playoffs twice. Yeah, they won the Super Bowl both times, but, you know, so again, how do you tie in team success to all that? To me, longevity absolutely matters. Andrew Luck, as great as he was and as talented as he was, I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. You played 6 seasons. The reason why I'm the same thing with like Terrell Davis should not be in the Hall of Fame. You played 4 seasons. You had a great 4 seasons, but you played 4 seasons. That's it. You had a great 4-year run. To me, Terrell Davis is not a Hall of Famer. I kind of throw that in the same category with Andrew Luck.
Here's the thing. You talk about the team success portion of it. If the Colts would have won a Super Bowl or 2 in those 6 years, along with these stats, I think that probably can push him over into being somebody who could be in the Hall of Fame because I don't think that longevity by itself should just take you out, right?
No.
But if you end up really like dominating during your time, no matter how short. I mean, the NFL, no, it can't be a year, can't be 2 years or anything like that. But if you have like 3 or if you have like 4 years, like Terrell Davis, and you are really dominating and you have these eye-popping stats, I think there is an argument with it. I don't think that the short term of his playing career automatically takes him out. But I do think that in his case, because he didn't play as long and because he didn't get a chance to dominate on the level that he possibly could have dominated if he would have stayed playing, that it does kind of take him out of the conversation.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. But just because you have a great 4 or 5 or 6 year stretch, to me, the Hall of Fame is the elite of the elite, right?
So but in NFL, sometimes it may only be a 4 or 5 year stretch, honestly.
But to me, I get what you're saying, but if you're just great in just 4 years, to me, that doesn't put you in the category of what some guys did for 10, 12, 15.
Yeah.
That's the way I view it. Are we really putting these guys in the same category? Because to me, that's not. Torrey Holt should be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Yes.
Terrell Davis should not. Because Torrey Holt did it for 10-plus seasons at a high elite level. That's the reason why, again, Andrew Luck in my mind, no. But this is where Cam kind of gets in a little bit of a debate because he did play for 10 seasons.
Let's read a stats.
Sure.
Then, and here's the case for Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm.
2015 MVP.
Okay.
1 Super Bowl appearance. 3-time Pro Bowler. 1-time first-team All-Pro. He's the 2015 Offensive Player of the Year. He's the 2011 Rookie of the Year. He has the most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in NFL history at 75.
Yeah.
The most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in a season with 14.
Mm-hmm.
14. He has 194 passing touchdowns. He has 32,000 passing yards, 5,600 career rushing yards. He basically averaged 500 rushing yards per season as a quarterback. He's one of 4 African-American quarterbacks to win the NFL MVP. He was the first to solely receive it. There's all kinds of other things if you go down his history with this list that I have. But I think those alone, I think as a pure passer, if you're judging Cam Newton as a quarterback the way you've judged other quarterbacks, I can definitely see why you say he doesn't make it.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at Cam Newton for what he is, he is a different force that the NFL had never seen before as a running threat for a quarterback. He completely changed the way that defenses would approach a team like that who has a running quarterback. He set the standard for what a running quarterback is in the NFL.
Yeah.
And if you really look at it, the Carolina Panthers, when they had Jonathan Stewart back there, they also had another back, Cam Newton. When they had Christian McCaffrey back there, they also had another back, Cam Newton. He was somebody you always had to account for both passing and throwing, and because of that, because of the difference in the way he played and the way he impacted, and that MVP, I think it says a lot. And I will take team success into account here. 15-1. To go to the Super Bowl, you didn't win the Super Bowl, but to go 15-1, basically end up going 18-2 that whole season, man, that's gotta mean something. And I know it's just 1 year, but it's gotta mean something. And I think just based off of that, Cam Newton, not a first ballot though. It might take 5 to 10 years, and I'm fine with that. But Cam Newton deserves a gold jacket.
I think what could separate him is, like you said, is the rushing. Because when you look at it in terms of just the passing stats, he only had 1 passing season of over 4,000 yards.
I think
that
was
his
2.
rookie.
I think it was 2.
I'm looking at it. He only had 1. It was his rookie season.
What did he get his second year?
Just over 3,800.
Okay, so he almost got it. Okay,
so he almost got there.
Okay.
So that's I could see that in terms of the passing stats, but yeah, the rushing is really what separates him, because 3 times in his career as a quarterback rushed for over 700 yards. 3 times had double-digit touchdowns. That is really where he helped change the game in that regard.
Yeah.
He really did change the game. So it's an intangible impact that sometimes it's hard to quantify, but that is something to definitely keep in mind, is that he did change the game. I'm borderline on it. I really am borderline on it. Right now I lean towards no, but if he gets in, I'm not going to say he shouldn't be there. In the sense, like I said with Terrell Davis, I could be talked into saying yes, but I'm really on that fence right now. To me, I lean towards no, but he was special.
Here's another thing about him too, is that besides the shoulder injury and besides the Liz Frank injury, Cam was durable through all of that.
Much of it,
because you're looking at it and he played 16 games his first 3 years. His 4th year played 14 games, 16 games during the 2015 season, 15 games during the 2016 season, another 16, and then 14. And that 14 is the year he got that shoulder injury at Pittsburgh. So he only missed 2 games that particular year. Now, the next year, he only played 2 games. A lot of that had to do with just the Panthers being cautious, sitting him down. That
was also like his foot, too.
Not knowing what the future was. And also, his foot, Liz Frank injury. They were cautious at first because if you remember during that season, there was talk of him potentially coming back. And then it just kind of it kept getting worse.
Yeah.
So then they just kind of shut him down. Then he goes to New England, plays 15 games that year, and then started with the Panthers in the middle of the season and still played 8 games in 2021. He has been, besides those 2 injuries, has been very, very durable as a quarterback.
Hey, he was fun to watch. So I don't know what his future is going to look like in regards to the Hall of Fame. I lean towards, like I said, no, but I can be convinced, Chris.
I think he should make it, especially because of the running threat he was. He deserves that gold jacket. Not at first ballot, though. I'm not going to go for him as a first ballot.